everyone. Thank you for coming to Globe Interviews. This is Starlight here, and today we have Kowei for today's interview. Please welcome Kowei.
Hi, Starlight. Hi, all the audience.
Can you share with us a bit about your background and how you got into blockchain?
Yeah, I will say I just like most people back in 2017, my friend just said, okay, you come here, you just get some of the graphic card, you start mining, and maybe 3 months you might ease, you will get your money back, something. So that's the recent one. But at the moment, I don't really like get into and click to the crypto. I just say, okay, I buy 6 GPU and then have a rack. That's nice. The second reason and the more serious reason why I really pay attention and really do research about the field is like, one of my friends who do have the mathematics background just saying, okay, do you hear like there are some cryptocurrency that's quantum resistance? Because my background is, in my undergraduate, I do major in physics and double major in economics. So I just say, okay, I understand like how quantum physics work. I understand like how the short algorithm can break RSA and crash all the internet security and whatever. But I don't understand too much about the crypto part. But I say, okay, somehow some project use the quantum resistance cryptography, and it really intrigued me. It just sounds so interesting. So for the practical reason, I joined a crypto space, definitely like everyone. So we try to get some profit. That's true. But I also said that's just also a pure intellectual fun, because I said, okay, well, and I also read some paper like how quantum computer can break Bitcoin. Like that's what was the paper published back in 2017, published by some professor in my institution in Singapore here. So at the moment, 2017, I just graduated from college. So I said, okay, I have half year to read something and do something, and half a year later I will start my PhD. So from the mid of 2017 to the end of 2017, I just have a lot of free time to read through and to study. So that's how I start in blockchain world. And also another reason why I just get so down by the blockchain space is like I used to be the captain of the science fiction club. So I just love all the cyberpunk stuff. So I'm quite like think futuristic. So I always love to say we should not think future given the history or given now. We should think history, but we should not think about the future based on the past or based on the history or based on now. We should predict the future based on the future. That's the best way to do it. So when people with the economic background and people love science fiction, and somehow you combine these few things, plus I'm also a libertarian, very pro the laissez-faire policy and ideology. So you combine everything, then it's very easy. You are be a pro crypto people. So also for like, just to summarize, it's like, okay, want to definitely just mine some Ethereum, get some profit, and also think, okay, somehow quantum can also meet the blockchain world. It's very fun, and also it's like this is free money. It's like it really resonates with my ideology. So that's basically the reason why I entered crypto world back in 2017.
So like I know you are an ion quantum computer PhD student at CQT, as well as in the physical world for the past 5 years. And then you turn your interest in the crypto world, definitely. So I was wondering, like, are these two areas of knowledge content that you can also use when you analyze the crypto market?
Well, I will say definitely they have no direct relation, but I will say for the academic world, your training is like you will be very patient, because when you really, no one will force you to do a PhD or do some research, but if you love it, you will just do it. But you will not do it and get it done tomorrow, because 90% of the time all your experiment or your hypothesis will just be wrong. So I will say the good training for the physics training for a PhD for me is like, first, I will be very patient. The second thing is like, I can filter out the noise and focus on the fundamental, because the cycle for crypto is like okay, maybe one day is like a normal life for 1 year. But if you live in the academic world, then maybe you ask other people what they are doing, and they'll say, okay, I do experiment A, but 1 year later they still do experiment A because there are some things just need to be figured out and really into. If you try to push the boundary of human knowledge, you need to be patient, and that's the case for quantum physics, for quantum computing. That's true, but also that's the case for decentralized technology for blockchain. In some sense, blockchain is not just about the technology. It's also not just about the monetary. It's also about like the culture or about the community. But all these things are put. But so for the community and for economics, definitely that's the cycle is the people's attention definitely quite limited, and people are very easy to get impatient. But if you really think about, okay, that's also information technology, then people need to be patient. Like zero knowledge proof is that like for ZK star is like maybe just a few years of commercialized. So people always say like, okay, Def do something and maybe today you will just get released, tomorrow you'll just be palm. Definitely not the case. If this is a technology that it will shape the human civilization and embed into the conceptual power of our economics, and you will really shape the culture, then I would say even 1 generation is quite reasonable time scale. And so for me, just back to what's the relationship between like my PhD daytime life and my like crypto lover since 2017, I would just say it helped me to really calm down, be patient, and really read and do a study. I still remember back in the long bear market 2019 and 2018, 2019, I just, okay, I have some Ethereum. I buy Ethereum since 2017, the first months I know the crypto war. I never buy Bitcoin, but I always buy Ethereum, just from first months. And then just say, okay, keep reading what happened, and then you found Compound, you found Uniswap, you found MakerDAO. The aha moment for me was back in 2019. I just said, okay, I can really use the multi-collateral. I can use I can really create a multi-collateral DAI. So I really can print money just based on my collateral deposition. So at the moment, I don't really think that, okay, you will make me rich or something. Just like, I think it's fun, and I am patient to really read through a document and really understand what they are trying to do. And another thing for the similar between the crypto war and academic war is like, if you want to do experiment, you just need to get your hand dirty. You cannot sit in the office and experiment or done yourself. It never happened. So it's also the same for crypto war. If you say you want to be like a DeFi heavy user, then you need to, at least you need to have a wallet and do all the interaction, or even you need to use the Ether scam to really interact with the smart contract without the GUI. That's also the way. So get the hand dirty and be patient. I would say that's a similar thing for the research of my daytime life, and also what the crypto like long-term believers should have. But definitely for this kind of long term, you said you cannot just buy a Shiba and just get 1,000 times. That's definitely not my style. But just like, I would just rather just be patient and really do the research.
At the end of 2020, you made a decision which turned your focus from Ethereum blockchain to Solana blockchain. Compare these two. What was the difference you have found, and what was the occasion that caused you to pivot your focus on the other?
Well, before I say the reason why I really pivot to the Solana or pay more attention to Solana, just like we just go back to the beginning of 2021. So for beginning of 2020, we already can play around with the curve, and we can play around Uniswap and Compound and MakerDAO, Aave, all this stuff. Okay, at the moment it's still called Eastland, and then pivot to Compound. Pivot to Aave. It was very fun. Just even with a few dozen of dollars, you can play all these steps very easily. You will not have the half $150 of gas fee. Not the case. So it was very cheap and very friendly to. It's usable. Ethereum at the moment was usable. So
Yeah.
and then it's crazy DeFi summer. I still remember the 2020 com star liquidity mining defined a whole, you can say it really defined era. We now call it DeFi summer 2020. And then gas price started to go up, but it's still affordable. So play people started to farm Com, farm Balancer, and farm Yearn, and then farm like Curve CRV airdrop, and then farm Sushi. All the crazy full however protocol come out. So that's about from the 2020 June to maybe October, and the market start to like cool down. So at the moment, all the innovation was on Ethereum. You can see like lending, borrow index, aggregator, cover insurance, leverage farming, everything come from Ethereum. Because at the moment, maybe the dev is still able to test all their smart contract on Ethereum mainnet, and the user can just use a few dozens of dollars to poke and try all different smart contract. It was the golden age, I would say. But at the end, the gas price started to go up. That's a problem. The main problem is like, if crypto want to be a mass adoption, you need to make everyone understand how to use it and affordable to use it.
Yeah.
So we just not to mention about like how to deal with the private key management or the account abstraction. We just say about the fee just too high. The Vitalik himself just say like the payment should be cost less than 0.05 cents, but definitely nowadays, even you pay on Arbitrum or Optimism, still too expensive. Polygon may be good enough, but Polygon is not the Ethereum level 2. So at the end of 2020, I just said, okay, try to see around and see anything interesting. During my ambassador for crypto.com, I know FTX Benson, a huge trader, and collaborate with FTX. So just recommend me to start to use FTX and start to take a look about what happened on Solana. So at the moment, I also participate in the Bonfida IDO, which 1 year later I was the community ambassador for Bonfida for 3 months, but that's a later story. So at the end, I just say, okay, Solana just look like the interface looked quite crap, and also the user experience is quite clumsy. At the moment, there was no phantom wallet, so the wallet is solely just like also barely usable. But I feel the speed and the cost, the potential of Solana ecosystem. So, and I do think that censorship resistance is still important. So I never believe and never will like pivot to Binance Smart Chain, because I just know 21 no is not enough. Yeah. So at the moment, I just say, okay, I have a few choice. I can say whether Polygon, whether Binance Smart Chain, whether Solana. So never want to try the CD21 validator chain. And Polygon, the thing is like cheaper version of Ethereum. And from first principle, I think it's like, if this thing need to be compete with Ethereum, it need to be very different from Ethereum. So at the moment, I just say, okay, then I think about Solana. At the moment, I don't think about Luna, is because like, for me, Luna try a very good like economic incentive game for like their anchor or their Luna GAR foundation, but then it's based on Cosmos DK. So I just say, okay, it's not sexy enough because it's no new technology. But for Solana, I really say they try to get more. They try to trade off in the trilemma of blockchain space, but really get something that's different from the approach of Ethereum. Because Ethereum say, okay, the decentralized is like every laptop computer need to run a phone one day. That's Ethereum's requirement for decentralization. But Solana say, we just want enough of decentralization. Maybe the whole world can only have 1,000, 2,000 nodes. It's not enough. It's not enough for censorship resistance. Maybe yes, 2,000 nodes is enough for censorship resistance. But maybe, okay, your even like gaming console cannot run, gaming computer cannot run these nodes. I agree, but if with this price you have a crazy amount of transaction TPS, and you can have very cheap gas price, the fee, then I would say that's acceptable. So that's basically how I started to pay attention to Solana ecosystem. And after last year, 2021, like the May 19 and the June 20 and the July 27, just these three crash, I just pay more and more attention to Solana because I feel that's what my feeling back in 2019 for Ethereum. I see the ecosystem start to like pop up for all different like category. Like somehow there are some nice NFT, some nice power lending, some very nice stacks. So I just feel like, okay, I want to pay like more attention to this ecosystem. So for the Q2 of the 2021, I'm other friends, just we collaborate and we have the Solana Taiwan community on Telegram. Now maybe have 7,000 people. At the moment, maybe like
Wow.
300 or 400, but now it's 7,000. So at the moment, it's like we really see how the community really try to develop and try to discover all different things. Just like we have in the community, some people really be the like the project leader, some really be the project developer. That's very fun because you see these community members, somehow like one day just be some of the community member, let be some member of some project. That's very, very fun. So that's basically how I started to pivot from Ethereum to Solana, because I just feel Ethereum is not usable, and I do have friends work in the like the zero knowledge space. So I get the impression and try to talk to different people, just like ZK EVM will not arrive by 2023. So at the moment, in the mid of 2021, I just say, okay, I sell all my portfolio, everything on Ethereum, all the DeFi coin, or even Ethereum itself, okay, all shift to Solana. I do have a very low, like a low frequency, like portfolio change. So basically, before the DeFi summer, I mainly hold the Kyber network token KNC for the first half of 2020. And at the moment, I just, okay, Kyber do very well. At the moment, Uniswap was not a mainstream, even till the mid of 2020. But at the end, Uniswap looks, the AMM looks as a superior option. So Kyber just the market share just go down. So I sell the Kyber currency, and I see the innovation and the talent, the genius talent of Andrew Koji. So I just, okay, and buy all in the YFI. About, I think at the moment about like 3,000 or something. I still remember the blue card says like one YFI will equal to 3 Bitcoin, and at the moment it really happened. I think at the moment when Bitcoin was less than 20K and the YFI really once shot up to 60K. So I still remember a slogan. Yeah, and definitely I also believe in YFI. I do have friends work in the wiring team, so I definitely just consult him like what's happening inside. So it looks very nice. And at the beginning of 2021, I just think that the Sushi's approach looks more superior than Uniswap, and also Sushi look like they will also have their branch on Solana. But at the end, I'm wrong. So in the mid of the 2021, I just say, okay, include Sushi, YFI, okay, everything just like clean all its position and move to Solana, and then that's what happened. So I start to pivot from Ethereum to Solana at the end of 2020, but I really make up my mind for manage the community, also change my position. That's in the middle of the 2021.
I know you are the co-founder of Mango Markets Chinese community. Can you tell us more about it?
So we know Solana is now quite a mature ecosystem with maybe a few hundred, a few thousands of projects. But once people ask the founder of Solana Lab, just Anatoly, just say, okay, you are the founder of Solana, so what's your elevator pitch for the newbies to use Solana? Because, well, it's a new blockchain, so people don't know how to use it or what to use. So Anatoly's answer is like, download Phantom wallets, use Mango Market to trade, and use Magic Eden to buy NFT. So nowadays, we can say you can be a more DeFi guy or more NFT guy. So I'm a more DeFi guy. So for the whole DeFi landscape in Solana ecosystem, Mango really it's really the true leader in all different perspectives, not just because it's get honored by the founder of Solana blockchain. It's the first one thing is like what's the main point for DeFi? So we need to have a composability. We need to able to like lending and borrowing, do the trade, and maybe can do like perpetual all at same place. So for Mango market, for this DeFi app, you can do small spot margin trading. So you can also do the borrow lending. You can also do the perpetual for the V3 version, and it's cross margin. So it's just like on-chain FTX. You can do all the FTX can do on-chain, fully on-chain. It's not like DYDX, because for DYDX the matching engine was still run on AWS. So DYDX was offline for a few hours before because AWS just crashed. So Mango was the whole small contract was open source and it's on Solana. Everything was around Solana, and even the interface, all the UI is open source.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, so the product is very like powerful. The UI UX is just neat, and no matter what you want to trade, you want to borrow, you want to lend, just like all the DeFi thing you mostly can do now. So for in the V3 version, for V4 version of Mango, you will have the isolate market will not be cross margin for all different assets. And then in the V4, you can, these specs can support a few hundred of assets, not just 13. Because now in the V3 version, you can only like support, I forget, the 13 or 15 assets. Because the architecture now is not, it's more constrained. But in the future, you can support a few hundred. And also you will have the option. So you will have the borrow lending, spot trading, perpetual trading, option trading. So it's like, it's indeed an on-chain FTX. So this is the technology side. Mm-hmm. And another thing about the Mango is like, Mango DAO do a very good job at the decentralized governance. For a lot people, when you talk about Solana, people will say just that's a broken VC chain with a very high, fully dilute market cap coin, dumb on all the retail user because retail user only see about the market cap. Well, that's true for 90% of the project. I do agree, and just like tons of crappy DeFi app. But for Mango, the first is everything's open source, and all the money was really in the DAO treasury. You need to get votes to get spam. So even for Mango team, they just want to go to the Solana hackathon to sponsor some USDC as a grant. You need to go through the DAO voting. Everything goes through DAO voting. If this is a project on Cosmos or on Ethereum, people would say that's good or great. But since this project is on Solana, the VC chain with the tradition of non-open source, their source code, it's just amazing for Mango to be such a great team. Yeah, I just say it's like for Radiant, the largest TVL of the DEX, they have now fully open source their stuff, and just somehow it's unbelievable for such huge TVL project to not open source. People in the Solana community may also mock us, just like laugh ourselves, says, okay, we have the VC back and the closed source project, so that will not get hacked. And if someone rock, then we can just blend a VC. But this is not the way for the blockchain to work. For blockchain to work, you should really have the decentralized governance and really have open source culture. It should be the case, but it's rarely the case in Solana. So Mango do have a great product, do have a great DAO and open source culture, and Mango have a very good team because the team is not come here to make money. The co-founder of Mango Market, Defi, he already make the money and somehow get a kind of like financial independent and get retired. And then he started to do Mango Market. A lot of devs come here to make quick bucks and just leave, and maybe even as anonymous developer. But Defi is somehow make money first and then use this thing as a try to build Mango Market is like his life goal in some sense. So the team is also amazing. And then the token economics is also nice because there's no VC. Mango has 0% VC. Even for multi-coin capital, they need to buy on IDO price as the same as everyone else. So the token distribution and the token like IDO is also very nice. So just we rarely see fair launch on Solana. So so for me, this kind of like touching moment really recall me how YFI was born in 2020 on Ethereum, because it's a fair launch and really do innovation thing on the be a new money Lego, do a lot of interesting things on Ethereum. For me, Mango will do the same thing on Solana, be a truly fair launch, a very strong team, very decentralized governance, really goes through a DAO to have a vote, truly powerful DeFi app for all different trading, long, short, option, and perpetual, and also very nice UI. A lot of DeFi app on Solana, just like the UI will just hurt your eye. Okay, if you really go through, you know what I say. So, but for Mango, everything just looks so smooth and just like or not blinking or like burn your antenna. Not the case. Mango is very smooth. So at the end, I just say, okay, I really love this project, and I just I collaborate with Benson. We apply, we build up the community first, and after a few months, the Mango DAO also see our effort, so approve our grant for the Mango Market Chinese community. So that's basically what happened in the past half year.
As the world's first complete decentralized digital payment system, Bitcoin represents revolutionary phenomenon in financial markets. Do you think social media has any impacts on Bitcoin price performance?
I will say in the long run, it's all about whether this thing is usable or not. Maybe meme coin in the short term can just get support purely just by people believing what it's like fun or cute, like Shiba or like Doge. So it's all the same things. In the short term, people can really say, okay, Bitcoin is can be anti-inflationary or it's a very nice stuff. I do agree this narration will work in the short run, but in the long run, whether people really use Bitcoin is the thing. We can see like the Bitcoin on-chain activity don't really go up, and also people don't really use it in daily life. So I will say the price will definitely get influenced by all the social media or like people's opinion in the short term. But in the long term, I really say the technologies and also like the Bitcoin's monetary policy does matter. And for me, Bitcoin's monetary policy in the long run is very dangerous because it just keep reducing the block reward. So if the block reward go too low, then the miner will have very strong incentive just to reorganize the block rather than mine a new block. Like if in the block like 10,000, there will be a very high fee transaction, just like someone want to pay a fee, to get very high priority. Then at the end, rather you mine a new block, you just reorganize your block and just to steal this fee out of the previous block, then it will be a security issue. So for me, Bitcoin dominance will just definitely go down. It will just be like a old style, like gold-like stuff. So Bitcoin now dominance still like 40-50%, but I would say in the foreseeable future, maybe it's before 2030, Bitcoin dominance maybe just like 5 or 10%. Then whether the price performance will really matter or not itself will be questionable. So for now, Bitcoin is still large cryptocurrency and still the fiat, the gateway for people to know all the other cryptocurrency. But in the long run, I just say it will be irrelevant.
Okay,
that's my classic take. I just mentioned from day one I never buy any Bitcoin, and I can quote the Kai from Multi-Coin Capital. We don't short Bitcoin financially. but we short Bitcoin intellectually.
So there are some big humors in crypto. The world's leading blockchain ecosystem and digital assets exchange, Binance backs Elon Musk's Twitter's buyout, and some said this boosting crypto believers' visions of the decentralized web. What do you think?
Well, I will say Binance really try their best to get more jurisdiction regulated for them, because like I live in Singapore for a few years, so I really saw that Binance will get the headquarters in Singapore because they have Binance SG, and they have they hired a previous MAS officer from and to be the Binance SG like team leader. But at the end, somehow they just left Singapore and banned all the Singapore citizens to use Binance.com. I will just say they try to get their influence on all different places. So I don't really see whether this move will help the decentralized future fundamentally. It's more like Binance can have their share of their awareness in the future. And Binance is definitely a good exchange to use, but I don't really see like their founder is like a huge decentralized or a censorship resistance believer. If you really see like the founder of the Shapeshift or like other like early crypto adapter, they are just like they may be libertarian crypto or the crypto anarchism, this kind of stuff. But definitely CZ is not a people. So it's more practical. That's reasonable, but so good for him to participate in the buyout of the Twitter.
Yeah. And I found out like there are so many the relevant company they put their company headquarters in Singapore recently. It's all because the regulations in Singapore is quite friendly to every for the people who are in this industry.
Well, I will say it's like Singapore have 0% capital gain, so the Zero Capital's founder Suzu says like crypto will pull down all the capital gain tax over the world to be more like a place in Singapore. Because like if you live in US, you get like 20-30% capital gain. If you live in other place, maybe you have like 10-20%, however. But at the end, if you have a place like Singapore have a 0% capital gain, then and the corporation or the individuals move here. Also the same for Lisbon or the same for Dubai. So I will say the first is about whether the taxation will be friendly for the crypto, and then about the regulation in bank, and finally it will be about the atmosphere of the like whether this government over here is open-minded or not. Yeah.
As we know, mainland Chinese regulators are cracking down on crypto and other relevant industry. I was wondering, does Taiwan have these kind of regulations to register crypto market?
Well, I will say Singapore is more full of the crypto VC and crypto trading firm or exchange, but Taiwan is more like full of builder, because Taiwan's finance to have very like you can say even it's it's like kind of like pre-modern in some sense. It's like so old school. But since there are so much developer and they just go through DeFi, they even don't bother to really build the fintech Web2 like stuff. They just build a very nice like a perpetual protocol or like full combo Hakka Finance, or even for I know on Solana was a Taiwan team, and also the IPO or like also like Tulip. So Tulip protocol. So I would say for Taiwan, it's more like a hub for developer, but it's not like a financial center for crypto trading firm, hedge firm, or market maker. Just like so I would say the best thing for government, at least for Taiwan government, can do is like just keep trying not to see anything. Try to beat us laissez-faire now, because they don't. If you don't understand, then the thing you do is that you don't do anything. You just shock and panic. That's fine, because if you don't shock and panic, you somehow try to ban everything, that will just get a thing worse. So for me, I will just say, okay, maybe you will not reduce your capital gain tax to 0%, but since you just don't understand and you just don't put any regulation, then that's good.
What's your prediction of decentralizations, and will we completely realize blockchain's promise of the decentralization?
I don't have the predict for decentralization because that's a great skill. Just like people will definitely have trade-off. Some people care a lot, some people don't care. So like for me, I definitely would say like DAI or like other over collateralized stablecoin is better than USDT and also better than USDC, but people just hold USDC. So one thing I can share is like I will say to have like a successful trade in the long run is like you need to believe something others don't believe. I remember back in 2018, a lot of people would say we should do it's about Bitcoin, it's not about blockchain. At the moment, people will just say that all the Ethereum or whatever small contract platform just start and Bitcoin will be the mainstream or whatever. And during the 2020, we can say that it's about blockchain, it's not about Bitcoin. So that's one thing. And then people will say that EVM will be everything, just like Ethereum will just ruin everything, it will just govern all the possible channel, it will just unite everything. But we know definitely not the case. Just like you have someone come from technology side like Solana, someone come from like the economic semi-Ponzi game like Luna, in some sense. So I will just say, my prediction is like we will definitely have another miss or another common sense gate break, and people will, if people can see this opportunity to think outside of the box, then you can really gain a lot. That's why I say. And my personal belief is like, my prediction is like, people always love to trade a new coin or do the new chain or do a new stuff, but technology research needs some time to do it. So I really believe that the old layer one, if they are still doing research and have a very strong community, they will fight back and really get their new all-time high. Like maybe like Bitcoin Cash, maybe like Monero, maybe like Tezos, and maybe like what I love the most is the IOTA. But just like for me, my prediction is like the myth that all layer one will just all die away will be proven wrong. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Just like I'm not there to predict the future decentralization, but I'm more prefer to predict that they are just like for all the narration, if you can see other people cannot see, then you can sing outside of the mainstream narration, then maybe that's your chance. I always say just like that's the secret. That's what Peter Thiel calls secret in his famous book From Zero to One. Yeah, just if you really want to be like successful, you need to see other people cannot see in some sense.
Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like the content, please like the videos and subscribe our channel. Leave your comment as well. And thank you, Kowei, for coming to our podcast. Yeah, it's really nice to see you and talk to you as well. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank all the audience and thanks.